Guys, in this video, I want to talk about the reasons or the things that you need to take into account when you want to develop a software as a service. If you want to turn your service into a software as a service. For those of you that already know me, you probably know that I hate developing applications just for the sake of developing apps. I think is something that doesn't make sense. What I like to do is develop usable products. And it's a completely different approach and a completely different thing just developing an application than developing a usable product. And this is one of the things that we take into account on 0 to 1 to reject ideas or to help you reframe your idea in order to be able to develop it. We don't develop applications just for the sake of developing them. So if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Justo. I'm in the process of creating 12 apps in 1 year. I recently launched the 5th app and now I'm about to launch the 6th one. Now, who is this video for? Mainly if you already have a team, if you already proven there is demand, because you already have a service, but you feel growth weighs on you more than it frees you. This one is for you. If you don't have a service, you can stay until the end. And I would recommend you to stay until the end so you can really understand the purpose and when not to turn your service into a software as a service and when it's recommended to do it. Typically, a software as a service idea or the feeling that you want to develop a software as a service appears when everything is going well. There are customers, there is revenue, and there is a team. But there is also something else, okay? More complexity, more coordination, and more dependency. At the same time, you start feeling the sailing. This is not a financial sailing, but a stress sailing, okay? And you think we need a software as a service. The thing is that software as a service is not an escape, okay? A lot of people underestimate software as a service. Turning your service into a software as a service is not automating it. It is creating another layer of business. If you didn't go through the stage of analyzing your business deeply and deciding if it's really worth it. If your business or your service still depends on you, now you will depend on you and your product. If you already watched the previous video, you will already know that you have like two different type of problems. Okay, you can have a demand problem or you can have a system problem. If you have a demand problem, you need to solve that first. A software as a service won't solve a demand problem if you need more clients, if you need to create better marketing. That's something that is solved within the service itself. As I'm telling you, software as a service doesn't fix an unstable business. If your delivery is inconsistent, if your margins still vary too much, if every customer requires your personal interpretation and your time, you need to fix that first, okay, before jumping into this. By the way, guys, if you want me to help you solve your sailing in your business by converting part of your service or your service into a software as a service, the only thing that you need to do is book in a call on the comment section and we will review your idea and your business completely to see if we can really do it. Also, if you're liking this video, you would help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button, because in that way we can keep reaching new people and it only takes a couple of seconds. Now, this is the mistake that a lot of people make, okay? They start with the wrong question. What product would we build, when instead the right question is, what repetitive decision within our service should not depend on the founder? The first question leads to features. The second leads you to structure. And software as a service is not a collection of features. Creating applications is not a collection of features. It is the extraction of an economic decision. And what it really means to extract a decision is the following thing, okay? In your service, as in other business, there are decisions, okay? You repeat every week: approval, diagnostics, prioritizations, interpretations, recommendations, okay? Those are the things that you need to take into account. Others are repetitive. And if you cannot clearly isolate which one is repetitive, there is no software as a service there. I mean, there is fantasy. Now, let's move on and let's go to the most important thing. When you definitely should not build software as a service. First of all, when you're bored. I mean, a lot of people literally build applications because they are bored, okay? Or they want the feeling of they are building an application. I'm sorry, I'm 100% real here. If you want to feel progress, if you want to tell a more interesting story, if you want to talk about validation, don't build a software as a service. Now, if you don't know exactly where your margin limit is, also don't build a software as a service. If you cannot explain why your current model stalls structurally, you need to identify that first, and we can help you with that in 0 to 1. Now, to identify that, you need to do like a real diagnosis, okay? Not the emotional one. And you need to ask yourself these questions. If I double revenue tomorrow, do I double supervision? I mean, do I double the time that I need to invest in the business? Am I still the final decision maker? Does growth improve margin or just increase volume? Is there a decision we repeat weekly or daily that could become a system? Those are the things that you need to take into account. Those are the things that are really worth becoming a software as a service. And the real order is, first of all, starting with economic constraint. Then you start with repetitive decisions, then usage validation, then minimal build, and finally, measurement of removal. Because this is literally the KPI that no one wants to admit. You need to ask yourself, does this eliminate escalations to me? Does it reduce manual decisions? Does it work with me in the room? Because we are not optimizing to create a shiny app. We are optimizing here for founder removal. If you don't do that, if you don't do the diagnosis, the real risk is not losing money on development, okay? It's losing focus, it's dividing energy, it's distracting the team, it's the time that you cannot get back. And a lot of people fail, not because of technology. They build before stabilizing, they build before isolating, they think that having an idea is enough, or they build before understanding the economic limit. They try to scale complexity, not consciously, but unconsciously, because this is very tricky. A lot of people don't realize this. When you are building something, your brain thinks that complexity is better, okay? Things that doing more things and putting more effort into certain things is better. And I already went through this, okay? It's completely the opposite. Now, when it's a good idea to create a software as a service? First of all, when demand is validated and stable, you already have a business that is making money. The process is clear and repeatable, margin is understood, the repeatable decision is isolated, and the distribution is already yours. The question is not, could we make a software as a service? The question is, are we structurally ready to convert a decision into a system without putting the core at risk? And if you are ready to make yourself that question, I will be waiting for you on 0 to 1. The only thing that you need to do is book in a call on the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, it would help me a lot if you subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope to see you on the next video.